Test tomorrow, so one last little day to review. Couple things based on yesterday. Want to make sure to go over. First, equivalent ratios. Some of the sixth graders are still having a bit of a problem with this. Here's how this works. You take the ratio they give you, we're going to make it a fraction. So I've got 3/9. Whatever number's first is on top. We're going to simplify it. If you have a calculator, all you would have to do is hit that BC button, put in the fraction, and then hit enter, and it would simplify it for you. Without a calculator, we should still be able to simplify this. What goes into both 3 and 9? 3. So when I divide by 3, it simplifies to 1/3. What we are looking for is the answer choice that simplifies the same way. So again, you could put each answer choice in with BC on the calculator and just hit enter. Or, like I said, we can simplify it. In this case, that first one is 3/1. Doesn't simplify, calculator would give you a whole number. Order matters though, right? So on this original ratio, the second number was bigger than the first number, right? That means for our equivalent ratio, the second number still has to be bigger. Can't be A. 2/8. What goes into 2 and 8? 2. So when I divide by 2, that gives me 1/4, not 1/3. 8/12. What goes into 8 and 12? 4. That gives me 2/3, not 1/3. 2/6. What goes into that? 2. So that simplifies to 1/3. That one is our correct answer. Okay? As I said, if you use the calculator, that BC button to write a fraction, and then you're just hitting enter, and it'll simplify it for you. Okay? But that's something from elementary school you should also know how to do, hopefully. Any questions on that one? Like a question like that, which one's an equivalent ratio? That should be like a kind of gimme question, right? Pretty easy one. Not much you have to do. Other thing kind of related to that. So we go to the zoo, ratio of bears to monkeys is 4:7. Based on that ratio, how many bears are there? 4. How many monkeys? How many animals? Any ratio I would write with this information can only use these 3 numbers and with those labels, okay? So I could have a ratio that says 4:11, right? I could have one that says 11:7. As long as it's labeled correctly with the 11 being animals, the 7 being monkeys, 4 being bears. You can reorder it, put it in any direction you want. Those are the only 3 numbers you can use. Those are the only labels that can go with those numbers. That make sense? It's like that with any ratio. There's only like basically the 3 different numbers and labels you can get from it. Another one, some of the problems where we maybe had an extra step we did a little, or had a little harder time with. We got Mr. Kano. He teaches science. His class is doing an experiment. Each student gets 12 ounces of vinegar for the experiment. There are 20 students in the class. How many liters of vinegar does he need for the class? So tell you what, go ahead and give it a try first. Let's see how we do. Who thinks I had the right answer? Dulce? Nope. Ben? No. All right, so I said there's a little bit of an extra step to this one. So the first thing we want to do, he needs 12 ounces for each student, right? It says each student needs 12 ounces. How many students are there? So 12 times 20. 12 times 20 is 240. What that is 240 ounces because the 12 was the ounces. So now we take what they give us here and we make that half our proportion. As I said, the 240 was ounces. So the 240 is going on top. So we got 240 times the 0.03. And then, divide by 1, so the 7.2 liters comes from. Any questions on that one? Y'all that had 0.36, that's the step you forgot was the 20 students. If you check on your calculator, 0.36 times 20 would give you 7.2 as well. So you could multiply it at the end. That's a possibility. Any questions on that one?